Vermont. Cracking the top 10, we have the Green Mountain State. What's strange about this one is no matter what stat I'm doing, Vermont and New Hampshire always have very, very similar stats. This one, they're a little bit far apart, a little bit more than normal, I should say. For every 10,000 Vermont residents, 17.8 are homeless. What are they called Vermonters? I don't know. If you know, let me know in the comment section below. Number 9, Nevada. The Silver State is just like the Green Mountain State when it comes to this stat. For every 10,000 residents, 17.8 are homeless in Nevada. I'm kind of shocked at this one, especially if you've ever visited Las Vegas. I mean, it's a big state and Las Vegas isn't the entire state, but kind of is. You'd think that they have a lot more. Oh, number 8. Massachusetts. Now we're picking up some steam. Massachusetts has some pretty good sized cities that, have some problems. Boston, beautiful historic city, but it has some areas that are just not good. And it kind of shows with the amount of homeless people they have. For every 10,000 Massachusetts residents, 26.1 are homeless. Number 7. Alaska. The frontier state doesn't have a lot of people, but they do have a good amount that are homeless, and again, a lot of that has to do with the Native American population. It's not all, that's just a good part of it. It's too bad. Like I said, eventually we might do a video on that whole thing, but I wouldn't be able to do it justice in a video like this. For every 10,000 Alaska residents, 26.6 are homeless. Number 6, Washington State. Now, I'd say like 75% of the homeless for Washington State are gonna be in the Seattle-Tacoma area. They've got a lot. I was just up there recently to Seattle. I didn't see a lot on the street, and I mentioned that in the last video, and everyone said you gotta look underneath the overpasses. They don't go into the street as much as they do in Portland. They're all underneath the freeways and in the woods around the city. For every 10,000 Washington residents, 30.1 are homeless. 5, Oregon. Yeah, we're kind of known for our homeless here in Oregon. Really, Portland, but that's where majority are, I should say. But every city we have has a good amount of homeless. A lot of it has to do with our policies and things like that and all the different programs we have. If you know you're going to get some help someplace and you have the ability and you're homeless, you're probably going to move to that state. And I think that's one of Portland and Oregon's biggest problems. Not that it's a problem, we're helping people, but it draws in a lot of homeless, which creates other problems. For every 10,000 Oregon residents, 34.7 are homeless. Number 4, California. All right, close your mouth. I know you're all shocked. They should be number 1. That's what everyone thinks. But when it comes to the per capita, they have so many people, they're not that bad. Well, they're bad. They're just not as bad as you think they should be. For every 10,000 California residents, 40.9 are homeless. That's a big number, but really, you'd think they'd be number 1 on this list. They're not. Number 3, Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii's got some homeless issues. There's a lot that goes into this one, and it's too bad. There's always those urban legends or rumors that we give them tickets to Hawaii from the mainland, one-way tickets, and then our homeless get, like we're putting homeless people, scooping them up in San Francisco, putting them on planes to Hawaii. It's like, come on, it's not happening. But they think it is there. They do have a lot of homeless people. For every 10,000 Hawaiian residents, 45.6 are homeless. New York, again, you probably would have thought it would be number 1, but here it is at number 2. And obviously, most of their homeless are going to be in New York City, like I said in the last video, and probably some in Buffalo, maybe Rochester a little bit too. But a majority are going to be in New York City. And that's why people are flooding out there, not because of the homeless, because of the situation. It's too expensive, and that's sending people out of the city and out of the state and onto the streets in a lot of cases. Now, I always give those reasons because we all know that over half the people on the streets are suffering from addiction problems, mental issues, things like that. When I talk about how they're moving or they can move, I'm not talking about those people. They're a different set of issues that you can't fix in a lot of ways. I mean, you can try and get them help, but they're just always going to be that way, I think. It's too bad. It's really sad. For every 10,000 New York residents, 46.9 are. And number 1. The District of Columbia. Yes, our nation's capital is filled to the rim with homeless residents. And that one, in a lot of ways, I mean, it's always bad when you have homeless, and it's just too bad. And there should be a solution, there just isn't. Will always be that way. It's just how many can you get off the street? But this is our nation's capital. This is a place we should put more effort into. You know, I mean, we get people coming from all over the world. This is one of the first places they go. It doesn't look good for the country. And I would think this would be one of the first places they would clean up. But here they are at number 1. Now, tighten your seatbelt. I'm going to give you the number here, and it's scary. For every 10,000 residents, 90.4 are homeless. They almost doubled New York, and they did double California. Number 11, Colorado. This one doesn't surprise me at all. Colorado, I wouldn't say is known for this, but they kind of are. Sort of like Oregon is and Seattle. For every 10,000 Colorado residents, 17.1 are homeless.